Hi guys, Julie the Oracle here. Okay. So I decided after the last week, I did the end of month check-in for December. I'm going to do the same thing here, except I'm going to do end of year check-in. Just switching it up because I can. So just I hope you guys had a great... I hope you had a great time with your holidays, your families and stuff. You know, not everybody does, but I just hope you guys had great holidays and that you had a wonderful New Year's and new beginning. So let's enjoy it. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. So I have 6 cards here. Kind of seems wonky. It's because it's supposed to sit like that, but that's all right if it doesn't. And I'm just doing a few oracle. I'm doing all of the Ascendant Oracle this time. They were just flying out of the deck. So there's a lot that you need to know. So with this end of year check-in, so this is how your 2023 kind of went. This is where we're checking in, and we're just going to talk about how you're feeling and what do you need, like what do you need to forgive, what do you want to celebrate, what do you need to release, and what do you need to trust in. So we're going to go like that. So for the first card up here, we have the 2 of Swords in reverse. It's so you feel is that. So you feel the 2 of Swords, but it's in reverse. And universally, this card is kind of like, oh, somebody's got to make a decision, and they're all wrapped up in their head about it. Like, you don't know what choice to choose, A or B, A or B, A or B. Oh, I'm getting a message. You can always choose yourself. You don't have to choose A or B. I don't know what that's in reference to. Like, maybe if you're having to choose between 2 people, it doesn't mean it could be romantic, but it doesn't mean to. If you're having to choose between 2 friends, I get the feeling that people were fighting. I don't know if you had like family, friends, or, you know, maybe 2 love interests that were fighting over you or something. I mean, I can't even find one that is willing to pursue me, but you've got 2 people fighting over you? Lucky? Sorta? I don't know. That would be kind of complicated and I really don't want it, but I just get the feeling that there's been some arguments and people are like, no, you should take my side, or you should take my side. Or someone's like, I want to date you. 2 people want to date you, and you're just like, oh, I don't know. You can choose yourself. There's an A option, a B option, or a see your way out of there option. So if you had that happen to you this past year, I can understand. So if you're feeling kind of like, what was I thinking? You know, and I'm going to pull this up because I noticed something. So it's 2 of Swords crossed, right? And it's funny how there's this beautiful, colorful looking ribbon going in between. It kind of reminds me of scissors, right? And you've got these 2 swords that are very sharp, even though the blades are away. But if you look at them like scissors and they cut, you basically decided to cut the ribbon and go your own way. I've got some independent people watching, so... And, you know, I love the eye up here because the eye and the moon, it all speaks to seeing ahead, you know, that independence, but also that trusting of your intuition that I keep harping about. I love that because I'm seeing them as scissors and they've cut the ribbon because, you know, you're being pulled. I think of it as tug of war. There's a tug of war on each side. You can't see the people, but you were just like, you know what, I'm going to cut this ribbon out because you're stuck behind this ribbon. You cut it and you just walked right between them. You just went straight. You saw your way out of that situation. I've got to know what it was though. Like, you guys have got to tell me. Like, I love it when I get new subscribers and love it when I get likes and comments, but I love the comments. So if you got caught up between 2 people, whether it's 2 lovers or, you know, you had 2 friends and you're like, you know what, I'm Switzerland, I'm neutral, I'm out of here, I'm not doing this. Or you're like, you know what, I don't choose either lover, I'm gonna go date some third person. I mean, that's completely fine. Or you're just like, you know what, this is too much trouble for me. I don't need the drama. I'm going to be single for a while and work on me. That's okay too. Could have been something that happened at work between 2 people. Maybe you had 2 managers arguing and over something that you did, and you're just like, I don't want any part of it. You know, so maybe you got lucky there, and at least you're not being blamed for anything. But definitely seeing the scissors cut the ribbon and you walking away. I'm going to put that back there, and it's going to be upside down. But yeah, I mean, and that doesn't, so that's kind of what I was seeing with that situation. It was kind of a decision, but at the same time, you actually forged your way ahead and made your own decision. Congrats. I want to clap for you. Like, good. Don't let anyone try to force you to be on their side for any reason. You don't have to have any type of loyalty to anybody unless you want to. But you should always be loyal to yourself first. But I love the message that came through that you can always choose yourself. You're important, and your health and safety is most important. And, if that's too much for you to take mentally or physically or emotionally, then, take care of yourself. So for feeling, oh, wow, you guys are probably feeling pretty good about that. I think most of you are. Hopefully you don't have any regrets over it, but I don't think you should. This card is basically saying you made the right choice, and that was good. That was a good decision to make this past year. So good for checking in with I feel, or you feel, I say. I always get confused because if you do this for yourself, it's I, but it's you for all of that. But for me, it's many of you, so I have to ask a different way. So when we come to what do you need, the High Priestess is here. You need, and without telling you what to do, but this message is about needing to trust that intuition, the High Priestess. And some of you are probably more psychic than you think you are. You have a lot of abilities. You know already. The High Priestess has a lot of knowledge. She's holding a lot of secrets. Some of you may be holding secrets, not necessarily bad secrets, although some of you could have a bad secret, doing something you're not supposed to be doing, or maybe it's unethical or whatever it is. People have their secrets. But with the High Priestess, she's either holding on to secrets, or maybe you're holding back feelings of some sort too, or you don't want people to know what you're thinking and feeling for whatever reason. So you gotta hang on to that for your own good. And sometimes it's good to just be the observer. And with this, it's funny, I see these two these two moons. They kind of look like eyes that are really far apart. And I kind of seeing eyes, like the observer. So some of you need to just sit back, don't say a word, be as quiet as you can, just watch with the eyes and listen with the ears. Just observe. It's like the weirdest thing, but being shy and quiet growing up, I have learned so much tea about people because I didn't talk. I was shy and I stayed quiet for a long time. So I would just sit in a corner somewhere, I would just sit somewhere out of the way, where I'd fade into the background. And then I would just sit there and watch and listen. The things I saw and the things I heard were wild. And, if I was invited to a party or something like that, I learned a lot about people. I learned about bad things that people did, and I learned which people to stay away from. It can be very enlightening for you, and it can help you navigate who you can trust and who you can't. Now, granted, some people just want to badmouth people for the wrong reason, so don't. But it does tell you who you can trust, because you're like, well, that person talks about everybody, so you know to avoid that person. So observation is key with the High Priestess. You need to observate. So try silence and just try seeing and hearing. That's it. Just seeing and hearing. Pay attention, whether it's at work, at home, whatever it is. Maybe a secret will be revealed, or a secret was revealed, sorry. But I'm that's something that if you haven't done that this past year, maybe you were blindsided by something. This is something you should have been doing, or maybe this is something that you did. Again, comments are open. You can tell me oh yeah, I heard all kinds of tea. You could tell me that you found out some wild secrets about people, or you uncovered something that affected people's jobs or marriages or whatever it may have been. That is a good way to find that information. And I never went looking for that information. I'm not somebody that wanted to be a gossip or anything like that. It's just when I was quiet, I just found out stuff because I was quiet. And it's funny when you do have abilities like this, you're empathic, you'd be surprised when people can sense that the kind of abilities you have sometimes. I don't know if they even realize it, but they come up and just open up and start telling you their life story. I've had people just tell me all kinds of things, and I don't know, I kind of take some pride in being able to hear them and to kind of fold away their secrets. It's an honor to have somebody want to share with you and feel like you are worthy of sharing such a, a personal story. But there's something with the High Priestess. But this is about what you guys need. So I'm saying, like, with this next year, if you missed something in this past year, now's the time to just find the silence and just look and listen. That's going to be what you need to do with this new year. There may be a reason for it, so just trust in that and try it. You'd be surprised what you find. It may end up being information that will be useful to you to help protect yourself, but it could be useful in other ways. It could help you get ahead. Who knows? Whatever you're going to use it for, I hope you use it for good. The next one is, what is it that you need to forgive? And this doesn't necessarily be a person. It can be, but I've got the Hanged Man, which is a person. So there may be a person you need to forgive. Let me just say, for the record, nobody can force you to forgive anybody. You don't have to. If somebody did something horrible to you, you don't have to forgive them. But if it's part of your closure to forgive for yourself, I would suggest that. But other than that, if that has only to do with you, that has nothing to do with that person. You don't have to give them a snowball's chance in hell for anything. You don't have to see them or talk to them or deal with them in any way. The first thing I notice, it's in reversed. But in this case, I'm just getting images straight off of it, and I'm turning it around because with the Hangman here, the first thing I noticed was this giant snake. I feel like somebody was a snake in your life, and this is somebody who was slinking around behind your back. And that's just kind of what I'm seeing. And they hung you out to dry. They may have, or for better words or a better phrase, they threw you under the bus, or this could be a very shady coworker, or, it could be your own damn family. For all you know, somebody could have been bad-mouthing you. It happens. Families, friends. It could have been a bad friend group, things like that. I've had great friends, but every once in a while a snake gets in there and it's not good. When you realize this, you got to cut them off. Because it's not and you don't always realize it until they actually, you get caught up in something and going, how did this happen? And then you find out that they were being shady. So, yes, in my past year, I can relate to this. I had somebody, and I hate to refer to them as a snake, but, they weren't being honest. If you're being shady, if you can't be honest with me to my face about things, if you're upset with me or you have a problem with me, or, but it shouldn't be about you gossiping about my life, because my decisions are my decisions. They're not yours. That's something that was a problem, and that was causing a problem with other friends and things like that too. So really be careful with that. If this is something you may have dealt with this past year, this could be, but this is obviously, if it's saying that you need to forgive, or you don't need to, but what, if it's possible, you've got to forgive the situation in some way for your own sake. But whatever it is, do it for you personally. Don't do it for them. And the way it is now that I feel spiritual, the basic thing, that person, I realize that I've done a lot of spiritual growth at this point, that I realize that person is still behind. That person had decided to do these shady things and talk bad about people and be hurtful. And the thing is, I don't care how successful they think they are. They're leaving a bad taste in a lot of mouths. And eventually, they're building up this sense of karma. So when something bad happens, they'll just complain about it and complain. When something bad did happen to them, for whatever reason it was meant to, they complained about it nonstop. And so it's probably going to happen again in a different way, different time. Who knows what it's going to be, but it's not going to go well for them. But the Hangman over here, being in reverse, you may have felt stuck in that situation for a while, but you got out of it. You didn't realize that you were dealing with a snake. So find a way. I found a way to forgive, thinking from my perspective, the person who did that to me, yeah, did it hurt? I don't care for them, and I don't really want to have contact with them anymore, but I wish them well. It's like, whatever they do is going to come back on them. It won't come back on me. So, you know, they need to learn lessons, and they're going to learn hard lessons. And so I don't really have to worry about it because, you know, karma does have a way of taking care of that stuff. And, you know, even if it's not karma, somebody is going to hand their ass to them because they're going to get caught up in more of this until people get tired of it. And it's going to cause a huge thing. Someone's going to make a huge scene and it's going to embarrass them. It's going to embarrass everybody. Like, you know, and they can only keep things private for so long before someone exposes them. But, you know, I was like, I just chalked it up to like, well, they've got certain like spiritual lessons that they need to learn in order to grow, and they're choosing not to grow, not to learn. And they were so quick to tell everybody else what to do and to tell them that they need to heal, they need to learn, they need to do this. It's like, what about you? So I'm going to just forgive them and go, you know what? They'll learn their lesson down the road. They'll be forced to learn it if they don't, you know, figure it out. So that's what I'm going to say on that one. Find a way to find your own closure with it. I won't say that you have to forgive any, you know, but find a way to, you know, forgive yourself for dealing with it. That's kind of the best way. Forgive yourself in that case. And just say, oh, well, I should have known better, but I didn't really see it. But you know what? That just speaks to what a heart that you have. That you were friends with somebody, or you were open with people at work, or whatever it was. You were a good person. You opened up and you're friendly and you got along with everybody, and yeah, it kind of nipped you in the butt. But you know what? You can look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day. That other person probably can't. Because once they go home and they're sitting there alone with no friends, no family, no nothing, then they sit there and be like, man, my life should be better. Why isn't it? Gee, I wonder why. Time to learn. So you're doing good. So the next one we go to is, what are you guys celebrating right now? I got the Two of Wands in reverse, but so I'm just going to say, like, you just celebrated New Year's and holidays and birthdays and anniversaries. I mean, you spent the year celebrating different things. The Two of Wands can be about planning or movement. So you might have been celebrating a move or something like that, or maybe not moving. Maybe you ended up thinking you were going to have to move and you end up getting a victory or getting to stay in your home. Maybe found a job where you didn't have to move. It could have been some ups and downs. So I kind of feel like it wasn't very balanced. It was kind of, I say, topsy-turvy. So maybe you went through some roller coasters this past year, you know, lost a job, gained a job, things like that. And so it's like, oh man. So you've celebrated these things as they've come and gone. And now here we are you're celebrating like, whew, that year is over, and you're happy because we started a new year. So it's new opportunities, new beginnings. That was kind of an easy thing. You're celebrating. I mean, I see a lot of people celebrating. This is a whole card of celebration of color and everything else. And it's wands too. So I see like a lot of opportunities and things that have come. New career. Some of you probably did move. Maybe you ended relationships that weren't worthy of you, and you maybe started relationships that were worthy of you. So it can go back and forth. That too is one or the other. So like, it seems like things are balancing out now. It was a little bit unbalanced in this past year, but it's going to be okay. This new year has so much to look forward to for you guys, I promise. You know, I promise you that there is opportunity there. I can't say that bad things won't happen, but we never know. Everything happens for a reason. We've got to find the silver lining in that. And I know that is hard to say. Okay, it's really hard to say. Because when something really bad happens, or you lose somebody and you have to bury somebody, like, I get it. You know, death happens and accidents happen. People lose jobs, and people can go downhill real quick. But keep the positivity alive if you can. And keep manifesting great things. It's a great day for that. Let's see. The next we have is, what do you need to release? You got the Tower, guys. I'm like, ooh, scary, but it's in reverse, so it's not bad. When it's upright, it's about a big shakeup in your life. So this past year, I would say being in reverse, it's just telling me that it's been a big shakeup, but now you're calming down. And I see the lightning there, so maybe it's helped you to realize things like, to relate, like bad things happen to us, but sometimes we look back, you're looking back on this year going, man, I wish that hadn't happened. However, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have learned my lesson on this, and maybe this person wouldn't have come into my life, or it wouldn't have led to a better job, or, these things, you kind of figure out that when bad things happen, it actually, you kind of learn from it, but it also opens the door to new, better things. So I feel like you got to let go of the stuff that happened. And it's telling you to let go of the tower. Let go of the moment where you felt like your life crumbled. Because, when everything seems like it's rock bottom, there's only one way to go, and that's up. So you can let it go now because you've started a new year, and there's, again, so much more. You've got a reason to celebrate, obviously. If nothing else, celebrate the new year and celebrate like, hey, I'm alive, I'm healthy, I'm moving into this new year with all the opportunities that life can throw at me. I'm excited to try new things, like experiment, do whatever you want. So I can appreciate that. And then the last thing we have is what do you trust, or what do you need to trust? Or it's like, well, I say we need, but it's like, what are you releasing? What are you trusting in? Well, I got the King of Coins in reverse. It's basically King of Pentacles. And it's in reverse, but it kind of speaks to, I don't know, like, hold on, let me look at this, because I'm getting drawn to this bullhead in here. Like, and not that it's a bullhead, but that it kind of looks like a uterus. I'm sorry. It does look like a uterus, doesn't it? Okay. And I'm just saying that because I feel like you need to trust in the process. Somebody's trying to get pregnant. So you need to trust in the process. I don't know if you're doing IVF, or you may be trying to implant. It could be a surrogate. I mean, there's numerous things, but I feel like there's something with new life happening here. And it could be, it may have nothing to do with the uterus. It could be as far as maybe you're fostering or adopting. But there is definitely something here that you need to trust in, that maybe this past year has been really rough, and maybe you've been trying to have children and it hasn't happened. And now you got to look at options B, C, and D because A is not working. I don't even know if I work, so I can kind of relate to you there because I've been told I may have an issue. And at my age, I don't know, I'm, 42. I don't know if I want to have kids this late, but I just remain open, and whatever happens, happens at this point. I'm just not going to happen anytime soon, let me tell you. But with the King of Coins, I just definitely there. And when I think about it, it seems like this past year, you've got to trust in the process, and you're just sitting there going, you didn't really trust in it as much. You were kind of worried, and you were more worried about the cost because you sunk a lot of money into this. Like, you've been trying to have it. You're worried about the money, I think. So you need to trust in the process. It can work, but I would definitely think, I'm not a doctor, but maybe you've seen doctors and they've told you certain things. And if your doctors have told you like that you can't have a baby the normal way, and maybe you have to go with a surrogate or IVF or foster adoption, trust in the process. There's a lot of worry about, well, I don't know. I'm kind of worried about whether I wanted a biological baby. You could do that in certain aspects. You just wouldn't be able to carry it. Or maybe you're worried about adopting kids that are older, because if they're already older, like, you're missing out on those baby years. Don't worry about it. Sometimes it can make things easier. Sometimes it's a rough road. You're talking about something super challenging, but rewarding at the same time. And there's a lot of kids that really want parents. And I don't know what everybody has in their area, but maybe look into it. But I'm really getting that with this card, that it just shines like a uterus to me. And that's what I'm seeing. Please let me know in the comments if you are having trouble there. But, whatever that situation is, have trust. Keep the faith on it. Whatever it is that you believe in, or you do, keep with your beliefs, keep with your affirmations, your prayers, whatever it is, manifest it. January is a good time to manifest it in whatever way. Just find a way to trust in the process, and that it will turn out in your favor, but maybe not how you expected. but things have a way of working themselves out. So it may end up better. The way it works out will be better for you than what you thought it would be. So that's the message from that card. Strange. I wasn't expecting that because I don't have kids and I've never had kids and never dealt with that, but it is something, that I have thought about over the years. So I'm going to do a few oracle cards. I just pulled 5, nothing big, but I wanted to pull some of these because I was just like, wow, there's these beautiful cards. They were flying out left and right. This is some advice that the oracle cards advice for all of you while you're trying to, you're feeling this way and the things that you need to do, or forgiving or celebrating, releasing, trusting, whatever it is. You've got the Pillar. This to me speaks of balance and strength. You see that it's very, very even. There is a snake on there too. So you got to stand strong even if even if you're still currently dealing with that snake in your life, because perhaps it is somebody who is, you have to work with the snake, or they're in the family. Unfortunately, this does happen at times, but if you're having to deal with that snake, there's 2 equal snakes there too. So I hope you're not dealing with 2, but this is balanced, and that pillar is strong. It can hold, so you can stand up to those snakes. They aren't going to bring you down. They will bring themselves down. Don't worry about it. But that pillar, strength and balance. So stay grounded, stand your ground, stay balanced with it. And I think you're going to be fine. And this is going to be heading into the new year. So this is your advice. Then we have Get Wild. This is about being playful. I feel like you need to be playful, have fun, like kind of connect with that inner child of yours. Like maybe it's time to have game nights and cook food together, watch movies, go out, go ride a roller coaster. Instead of life being a roller coaster, go ride a real one. That's what I'm going to say. You need to go have fun. Have fun in whatever way is fun to you. Maybe it's time to take those road trips and see museums and just, go out and wander about the world. Get in touch with nature. Just do whatever it is that makes your little heart happy. And then we have surrender. Some of you are going to have to surrender. And that might be, where I trust comes in. Like if you're trusting in something, the trust comes in with the surrender. You've got to trust the process. Surrender to the flow of life, to the flow of the universe. If it's intended for you, it will happen, but it happens in time, and it does take patience, and people don't want to hear that, but we have to be. And if you're not patient, you'll be forced to be patient. You'll be forced to wait and wait and wait. So it's better to just kind of go with the flow at this point. Resistance is futile. That's what I like to say. So surrender to whatever it is you're worrying about into the new surrender to this new year. Let it flow. Just go with it. That's what I say. And then we have the Magi. Magi, I can't even say. I think it's Magi. But this is about trusting your intuition. So again, trusting that things will work out. The need to trust that you made the right decisions, that the things that happened in the past, you did the right thing. You should walk away feeling successful with what you've accomplished. If people fell away from your life or things fell away from your life, it was meant to be. The people that came into your life, the ones that stay, meant to be. And then this last card is amazing. Get creative. I love it. Get creative. And this kind of goes along with Get Wild. Get Wild is about all having fun and getting in touch. Get in touch with your passions. Like pick up some new hobbies. Do something artistic. You don't have to know how to paint. Finger paint or do watercolors. Super easy, by the way. You could take classes on Meetup. I took one on Meetup there. I learned how to do little birds and power lines and stuff with a pen and then doing watercolor around them. Wasn't very good, but I liked it. It was cool. And it was free. I don't know if they charge now, but sometimes it's free. It just depends on who it is. But there's even like Zen Doodle. Like if you've ever heard of Zen Doodle, you can order those on Amazon. Those are all about doing your own doodles within a thing. And it creates this beautiful pattern. They make, like, I say not coloring books, but Zen Doodle books that you can order. It's very creative. So, and you can take classes online. I think they charge for some of them. But if you can find one that's free, by all means, I would say take it. That's kind of fun to do if you like to doodle, but you don't have to be like a major artist or anything like that. You don't even have to, no artist. You don't have to be an artist. Just have fun, be crafty. You can go buy like the crayon. Let's see, what did I get my 7-year-old niece for Christmas? She got like this moldable clay, and you can form it into all kinds of shapes and creatures and whatever it is you want. They have tutorials on how to make certain things if you look on YouTube, and then you just air dry it. You could either put it back and use it again later, or you can make something and let it air dry, and then there you have like a little statue, and you can give it to somebody, or you can proudly display it, whatever you want to do. So I think that that's pretty cool. So get creative in whatever way, you know, draw, paint, you know, make t-shirts, sew, cook. There's so many things that are artistic that people wouldn't even think of, like just drawing lines in the sand or playing with water. There's just so many different things out there, but whatever floats your boat. But I hope that this was helpful to you guys. You know what, this next year, I hope that it's a wonderful year for you guys and that you reach your goals and you manifest some beautiful dreams for yourself. Until the next